Hi, it's Karen with West USA Realty Team Minik, and I'm back here for part 2 of our solar informational sessions with Mike Craig of Solar Fix. Mike, today we want to talk about the big question. I'm a homeowner, I've decided to go ahead and purchase solar. Do I buy it outright or do I lease it? So let's talk first about tax credits. How do those two differ in their tax credit situation?
If you own the solar system, you will reap the benefit of the tax credits. Here in Arizona, you get $1,000 from the state, and at the federal level, you get 26%.
Wow, that's big.
It is. It's enormous in taking that into factor. On the lease side of things, you don't own the equipment. Someone else does. It's a lease, so you do not reap those benefits. You do not get the federal or the state tax credit.
No tax credit at all if you lease.
That's correct.
Wow. So as far as how the solar lease versus own affects the value of your home. So if you own the solar, is it likely to increase or decrease the value of your home?
It will increase the value of your home.
And how about the lease option?
Depending on how the lease is written, it could have no value. In other words, the lease payment equals that of the energy savings, or in some cases could have negative value. If there's a built-in escalator over time, it's fine for the first, say, 10 years or so, but once you start getting up into the 14, 15, 16 year range or whatever, that original payment could get close to double where it was originally at.
Wow.
So it's very difficult for buyers to buy a home of a leased solar that has a large escalator.
Okay, so would you recommend, if someone does choose the lease option, to avoid the escalator clause?
Absolutely. Pay just a little bit more per month and have it flatline, the payments flatline for the full, whatever it is, 20 years, 25 years, whatever that is. Absolutely.
Okay, and then as far as servicing these systems, what are the difference between the lease and the ownership if you're actually going to need service for some?
If you own the system, you can call any licensed solar company out there to service. Typically, it's going to be an inverter. Typically, it's not the panel. In that case, pretty much call anybody. If it's a leased, because the homeowner doesn't own the system, it must go back to whoever the lease company is. There's lots of lease companies out there.
Okay, and sometimes it takes a long time?
There's a long line, up to 6 months to get service.
Wow, that's big. So as someone who does a lot of repairs and on solar systems, would you recommend that people buy or lease?
Hands down, I think you should buy it. It's just a much better value for not only the homeowner, but any time that you in the future want to sell your home. You don't have to explain to the prospective homebuyer, hey, we don't own the system and there's this escalator involved, and it could be, you're in your 10-day and you've got to make that happen very quickly in escrow.
Thank you, Mike. That was great.